Top of the morning, members of the press. It's with an abundance of pleasure and an equal amount of pride that I welcome you this morning to this pre-conference, press conference in advance of the 84th annual conference of the Barbados Labour Party, which takes place on the last weekend of this month at the Darrell Jordan Secondary School in the parish of St. Lucie on October 27th, 20th, and 29th. By way of format, we will have our panel dealing with specific aspects of the conference, and I want to take the pleasure now of beginning my introduction of the panel. On my immediate right is our second vice chair, Comrade Kirk Humphrey. He's going to be looking at dealing with the topic 85 and onward, the great legacy of the Barbados Labour Party. But we're actually going to begin the conference with an overview by our conference chair, Comrade Peter Phillips, who will elaborate on the theme for the conference as he provides the conference overview. Then we'll hear from the CEO of the party, Senator Comrade Patricia Paris, who will outline the program for conference. And to bring the curtain down on the introductory segment, we hear from our third vice chair, Comrade Kurt Haynes, who's going to share some information on the exciting features of the conference, and that's inclusive, of course, of our keenly contested karaoke competition, among other features. So let's get straight into it then, colleagues, and invite our conference chairman, Comrade Peter Phillips, who, as you know, is the parliamentary representative for St. Lucie, and that's where we're hosting the conference this year. Peter Phillips, who will give us the theme and the overview for the conference. Peter?
Good morning to the press, members of the press. Thank you, Comrade Ricardo. It is indeed an exciting time in Barbados right now. It is an exciting time within the family of the Barbados Labour Party as we gather on the last weekend of October 27th, 28th, and 29th to have fellowship, to discuss the business not just of the party but the business of the country, and to outline to Barbadians what, as a government, this party will do. I'm very excited about having the conference in St. Lucie this year, and so very much so because we've come right up to the very north, the very top of the island. All systems are go. Everything is being put in place as we move a little bit closer to that date, to those dates, which will be just within a week or so. Now this year, we have chosen as our theme BLP at 85, crafting our future responsibly. BLP at 85, crafting our future responsibly. And when we look at that theme, in it you will see the age of this party. This party has been going on for the past 85 years. We have gone through good times, we've had rough times, but we have soldiered on and we've made it thus far. As we reflect and as we look to move Barbados forward, this party has demonstrated each and every time despite the challenging situations that we would have inherited from time to time each time we were in office, this party has demonstrated that it operates responsibly. It's not just about politics, but when it comes to running this country, we operate responsibly. And so as we reflect and as we move forward with this conference, we are crafting the future of this country responsibly. There are a lot of challenges in the world today. We are impacted by those challenges. We hear about the climate crisis and all these different challenges. And so we must be a responsible government. And that's what we are doing as we move forward in this country. As it relates to the conference is going to be one of the best conferences that each year we try to improve on what we have done the year previously. Are we gonna, don't we have challenges? Of course we do. But the important thing is to overcome those challenges. They are challenges not insurmountable. They are challenges that you have to sit, you have to talk, you have to review. Sometimes you have to change and so on. That is what a responsible government, that is what a responsible party does. And so as we gather in St. Lucie on the last weekend of October, we want to invite, as a matter of fact, I take the opportunity to welcome you to my beloved parish, welcome you to my constituency. You will be entertained, you will love what you get or what you experience there. And as we move over the next 3 days, I want to say as well, now it is a BLP conference, but it's a conference for the people. So irrespective of who you may support or who you may not support, you're welcome to come to this conference and mix, mingle, fellowship with the family. We are all Barbadians together. And I want to extend that welcome to each and every one of you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chairman Peter Phillips. We now move on to the second vice chair of the party, Comrade Kirk Humphrey, and his topic is going to be 85 and onward, and he will reflect on the great legacy of the Barbados Labour Party, the great legacy of the Barbados Labour Party. Comrade Kirk Humphrey.
Thank you very much, Chair. Thank you, Chair, CEO, and third Vice Chair. It is a pleasure to be here this morning, and of course I welcome the media to the House of the Barbados Labour Party. I want to say a very special good morning to all of Barbados, all Barbadians. I want to commend the conference chair for the work that he has done so far in making this what I think is going to be one of the most successful conferences, having also chaired the conference and recognizing the amount of work that has to go into pulling off a successful conference. So I want to begin there by thanking him for the work that he has done. It is clear in all things that if you do not know your past, then you will not know your future. And I think it's always good to reflect on what work we have done. I do not propose to be very long this morning at all, but it's good to reflect on the work that this Labour Party has been able to do since we came into being in 1938. And that is a long time. 85 years is a long time to be involved in this fight. In fact, if you also consider that we came right after the struggles of the 1937 riots, and we came right before the start of the Second World War, you could only begin to imagine the struggles that Barbadians were facing at the time this great Barbados Labour Party came into being. And I've also reflected, as I did last year actually, on the philosophical underpinning of this Labour Party, which has not changed. We are the same Labour Party at our roots. Of course, the things we do have to change, but the philosophy of the party remains the same. And there were 4 areas. One was to provide political expression for citizens. We still do that. We still want to make sure that their human rights are met, economic and social rights are considered, to foster goodwill between employers and employees, and to make sure employees have a proper set of working conditions. We still do that. still the way of this great Labour Party. To stimulate intelligent conversation with the people, again, the way of the Labour Party. That's why we do all these consultations. We've been rubbing shoulders. We're doing Paris Speaks. I mean, consultation on almost every subject of value. On every subject of value, at every point. Even in times when we've consulted, we've gone back and consulted. That's just the way the Labour Party has done its business. And to promote economic and social cooperation and to work with similar organizations. Because we've also seen ourselves as having a role in the region and, of course, in the world. Again, that is the legacy of the Labour Party. But I don't want to spend time on that, because if I were to list every single thing that this Labour Party has done, every contribution, it would take us the entire day. But I do want to share with you in relation to our economic contribution, our contribution on labor, and of course our social contribution very, very quickly, and to allow the others in the press conference to have their say. We came, as I said before, right after the riots. It was obviously a very disturbed period at the time. Economically, it must have been very challenging. Grantley Adams, as the leader of the party at the time, Grantley Adams was the person who came forward and led that fight. And many persons don't seem to want to give Grantley his due, but Grantley Adams is, in all ways, is really the father of our democracy. He was the one who advocated for adult suffrage from the beginning. He was the one who did a lot of that kind of preparatory work, and it was because of him that we saw that. Again, when the Labour Party came back into office in 1976, after a period where there had been, regrettably, not as much social and economic success for the country, it was under Tom Adams that we saw a number of innovations between 76 to 86. And again, in the 94 period, it was Owen Arthur then leading the Barbados Labour Party again to economic success. We all remember job number one is jobs. We all remember moving unemployment down to negligible digits, statistically insignificant numbers. That has been the legacy of the Labour Party. And of course, since 2018, we know the contribution of the Honourable Prime Minister Mia Mottley, and it would not be an overstatement to say that this Labour Party came in and saved the Barbados economy. So in terms of our economics, we've been sound. But our contribution to labour has also been sound. And there have been so many things. I think we've been very quiet about the way we've contributed to labour in the last year or two, but a number of significant things. Historically, it was the Labour Party that did a lot of the things relating to workmen's compensation, workers' rights, and so on. But since we came into office, this particular Labour Party, in a pandemic, in an IMF program, we gave the people minimum wage, increased the public servants increases in pay. We were able to appoint over 3,000, I think 3,500 public servants. We were able to pass non-discriminatory legislation in the workplace. This Labour Party's legacy in relation to labour is also very sound. And then lastly, our contributions to that which is social. I reflected again on the fact that it was Grantley Adams who said every man should have a right to vote. Every man, one vote, giving people that kind of power. It was us under this Labour Party that gave people the Tenantry Freeholds Purchase Act that allowed poor people to own a piece of this rock. So our social record, it was us who started free education. Princess Margaret, other schools, Grantley Adams, there were four. But it was this Labour Party again that did that. So our social record is strong. It is not surprising that it is this version of the Barbados Labour Party's government now that is bringing all of this transformation and reformation. If you consider that we are making changes in health, in education, I mean across a whole set of ministries, and in my ministry, a ministry that is concerned about involving and improving the lot of those who are disadvantaged and who need help. And I think no other program, and I will close here very quickly, but no other program is able to epitomize or is a truer manifestation of our role in terms of serving persons than the recent One Family program. If you look at all of the tenets that the Labour Party has built its reputation on, serving the people, improving their economic livelihood, taking care of people at the core. The One Family does that. It goes to the most vulnerable families, and it addresses their concerns in a much more holistic way. And I think I should also make the point that it is not only a feel-good program that this Labour Party is doing. It is also about, when we talk about inclusive economic growth, this is what this is. Because growth could mean that some people get and others don't get. But when you talk about inclusive economic growth, you are putting the growth, the benefits of that growth back into the hands of the people. So it is that program alone by itself that is the truest manifestation of the history of the Labour Party, and it has 7 components that I will share, and then I would wrap up. It is about identifying who the poor are. And remember this one family program, even though we said we're helping 1,000 families, each family has at least 3 or 4 persons. So we're talking about 3,000 or 4,000 persons. It is really a unique program built and designed to cater to the people who are most in need, the most comprehensive program. So it is identifying them, providing them with some source of income, whether it is from the state. It is about giving them employment as a right, because all Barbadians deserve the right to earn, making sure they have access to health care, education, counseling in relation to family dynamics, and so on, and ultimately to make sure that we provide them with housing. If you look at all of the history of the Labour Party, all of those things that I have just called are things on which we have built a tremendous legacy. And it's these things that we are continuing to build as a Barbados Labour Party. Between 2018 to now has not been easy. We've had wars, more wars, ashfall, a hurricane, and a pandemic. And in all of these major social areas, this Barbados Labour Party has delivered. So I think we have to appreciate it within that context and to continue, as our theme says, to recognize that this Barbados Labour Party is crafting our future responsibly. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Comrade Kirk. At this point, we are going to join our CEO, Comrade Senator Comrade Patricia Paris, who will outline the program for conference.
Thank you, Comrade Ricardo. As always, let me extend a very warm welcome to the members of the media to 111 Roebuck Street. Welcome to our online viewers. Our annual conference, the 84th annual conference, starts at 8 p.m. on Friday, October 27th, with an awards ceremony. At this ceremony, we will be recognizing 34 stalwarts, comprising of 1 from each of the 30 constituency branches: the Women's League, the League of Young Socialists, the New York branch, and the UK branch. We will also be recognizing 5 persons for their outstanding contribution to sports in Barbados, 4 persons who made contributions to culture. 4 persons will also receive environmental awards. Other awards include the Milroy Wreath and the highest award of the party, the Grantley Adams Award. The guest speaker on the Friday night will be Prime Minister of St. Kitts, Nevis, Honorable Dr. Terence Jew. On the Saturday, the conference continues, that is on day 2. Our delegation of approximately 1,100 delegates will use the morning session to conduct the party's business. I am happy to report that included in our overseas delegation will be delegates from our recently formed Toronto branch. As Chief Executive Officer, I am looking forward to welcoming all delegates and all persons attending our 84th annual conference at the Darrell Jordan School in St. Lucie. The highlight on the Saturday is the address by the political leader and Prime Minister, Honorable Mia Amor Motley, and this address is at 4:30 p.m. Members of the public are welcome to attend and hear our political leader as she delivers her address. We start our final day with worship. Participating in the worship service will be Reverend Canon Curtis Goodrich, Pastor Glenworth Joseph, and Pastor Jamil Blackman. After the worship, the 2023-2024 executive will be introduced. This year, we in the Barbados Labour Party will not be having an election, and that is because all of our officers were nominated unopposed. The new executive will be first Vice Chairman, Honorable Reginald Farley, Party Chairman, Honorable Reginald Farley, first Vice Chairman, Honorable Kirk Humphrey, second Vice Chairman, Marcia Cadell, MP, third Vice Chairman, Mr. Kurt Haynes, General Secretary, Senator Dr. the Most Honorable Jerome Walcott, Treasurer, Honorable Davidson Ishmael. A documentary celebrating the BLP nation building will be shown. During the 3 days of the conference, an exhibition will be mounted showcasing the party's history and its contribution to the nation building. And my comrade Kurt Haynes, third Vice Chair, will expand on the exhibition. The Sunday afternoon will be spent discussing resolutions submitted by the constituency branches. If you are interested in attending the Barbados Labour Party's 84th annual conference, but you don't have transportation, I urge you to contact your constituency branch or call us here at Barbados Labour Party headquarters, 429-1990, for details on transportation. As we continue to celebrate our 85th anniversary, we are looking forward to a productive conference under the theme BLP at 85, Crafting Our Future Responsibly. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Senator Comrade Patricia, for that most comprehensive presentation there on the conference program. And now to conclude our initial presentations before we get into your question and answer session, we're going to join our third Vice Chairman, Comrade Kurt Haynes, who will outline some of the exciting features of conference. For example, like a keenly contested karaoke competition, final of which will be one of the features of the last day of conference. Comrade Kurt.
Thank you, Ricardo. Good morning to everyone, and thank you for coming to 111 Robert Street. I'm going to speak a little about the exhibition which we will put on. Its title is called A Legacy of Leadership. And as you know, the Barbados Labour Party has been fortunate to have had a cadre of extremely visionary leaders from its inception in 1938. So from our founding fathers, who met at Martineau House, as Kurt said, some 85 years ago, who charted a course towards enfranchisement, to the successive administrations that continued our progressive agenda, there has been a long legacy of leadership. So the images and imagery that will be on display during this upcoming conference is both a testimony of and a tribute to the great leadership of our party. Development in Barbados gathered pace from the construction of the Deepwater Harbor in the late 1950s and the establishment of industrial estates to the construction of the ABC Highway, which is still a major driver of economic activity and one of the jewels in our efficient public transportation system and road network. The exhibition will give an overview of some of the Barbados Labour Party's contribution to Barbados' development, and is a great reminder of how far we've come, as well as an inspiration for us to continue to work to create a better life for our people. We also are going to do a video documentary, and the title of that is A Legacy of Progress, 85 Years of the Barbados Labour Party. This is set to premiere on Friday the 27th of October, and it will be a feature-length documentary of 60 minutes. And it will discuss the role of the BLP in nation building during the last 85 years. This will be streamed on BLP TV, so you can click it at any time to view at your convenience, with a trailer being shown at our annual conference on the Friday. It places in context how our party has not only been the formative institution of a modern Barbadian nation, but it determined a vision from inception which has transcended the times and all political parties, and moreover, has been the change agent at every transformative junction of our progressive history. There's also a promotion called Rep Your Red. We're very excited about that. As we kick off the BLP conference weekend, we invite you to Rep Your Red on Friday the 27th of October. So you don your red pants, your red shirt, your red hat, red nail polish, red slippers, red glasses, red anything. And you can wear it to work, to a lane, to the gym, to the supermarket, to collect your children from school, but Barbados is going to be painted red. So we are encouraging you to snap your photos, tag us on all of our social media pages, and post it on your own pages, and help us to celebrate 85 years of the Barbados Civil Party in existence. Other things of interest, there will be a Young Socialist session, that is our youth arm. They will have a discussion on artificial intelligence and biosecurity. We'll also have breakout sessions featuring 3 topical issues. That would be, Kurt, you'll be happy to hear this, the One Family Program, Barbados Education Reform, as well as the British Initiative 2.0. And then on Sunday, I'm excited for this, we'll have a moderated discussion on parliamentary reform, which will help to shape our party's view and suggestions to the Parliamentary Review Commission. As our moderator, Ricardo, has alluded to, we started the karaoke community competition, and we touched every constituency, all 30. And we have reached an extremely wide cross-section of Bajans in their various places of comfort and relaxation. We are extremely pleased with the momentum that has been generated, and now that the constituency and group rounds have been completed, more people are aware of our annual conference, and we anticipate a bumper audience, especially on the Saturday afternoon for the Prime Minister's speech, which is open to the public, as the CEO said. The competition has unearthed significant talent all across the island, and what is most noteworthy is the amount of men who have been seen featured in the first round and who have made it to the finals. So there's an obvious hype surrounding the BLP Community Karaoke Finals. We've made extra provision for supporters of the finalists, and I want to clue you in that we will have the biggest karaoke stage that Barbados and the Caribbean has ever seen, and we will be using LED multimedia screens to help bring it to life. So the Darrell Jordan Secondary School will be complemented by a karaoke finals after our conference. So we're encouraging all Barbadians to come out to the 84th Annual Conference on October 27th, 28th, and 29th at the Darrell Jordan Secondary School, Trent, St. Lucie, for our annual conference titled BLP at 85, Crafting Our Future Responsibly. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Comrade, Third Vice Chair Kurt. At this point, we're going to move smoothly, seamlessly into our question and answer session, but permit me to make a point before we do so. This press conference is 84th Annual Conference, Barbados Labour Party's 84th Annual Conference specific. That is to say, no other issues will be entertained. Barbados Labour Party 84th Annual Conference specific. I just wanted to, I couldn't stress that more. So we are sure that you will have some related questions for members of the panel, so let's get right ahead.
You still got a question?
Yeah, I do understand the guidelines, and I expected not attendance.
You gotta use this mic.
Yeah, sorry, this is media mic. No, come.
Oh.
Yeah. Actually, yeah. This is a dedicated mic for
Okay. Can stay in the periphery here. All right. Yeah. Basically, first of all, congratulations on reaching this milestone. My interest was piqued by the fact that you said that all of the executive have been returned unopposed. Now, in a very simplistic way of looking at it, is either there is great satisfaction within the rank and file of the Barbados Labour Party, or a case of there is something hindering persons from wanting to serve at the highest level of this institution. Could you just shed some light as to why that is to me, please?
Thanks for your question. We have 30 constituency branches across Barbados, as you are aware. There is a process that is in existence where the branches are allowed to nominate persons, officers, as they see fit. We, in the Barbados Labour Party, we conduct our business with respect. Each constituency branch had the opportunity, like I said, to nominate persons. They nominated the officers that I called unopposed. We believe in democracy, so no branch was stifled. So that is how we arrived at the officers being nominated unopposed. It is a very democratic process. We don't do any canvassing. Persons just approach the officers if they want to nominate them, and they ask them if they will be interested. The form must be signed by the nominator, the proposer, and it must be seconded. So it is nothing hanky-panky. We are a unified Barbados Labour Party, and we embrace our members, and we work together for the benefit of Barbadians, all Barbadians.
Let me add
One
something.
second.
I just want to add this very quickly, because I know my friend Colville will find mischief. You will find mischief in heaven. You know, you will find mischief where there's no mischief. Listen, just to be clear, we were not returned to office. This is a new executive. And the chairman of the party outgoing is the Prime Minister. There is a new incoming chairman, Reginald Farley. I just want to give you this clarification, because I don't want you to spread, not deliberately, misinformation. So there is a new chairman in Reginald Farley. Marcia Cattle returns as a new member of the executive, as second vice chair. I moved to first vice chair. So everything on the executive has actually changed. So to suggest that it is the exact same thing, even if it were, and that was the choice of the party, it would have been okay, but it's not. And so I just want to make it very clear that the executive is a new executive, and the process was followed, and these are the names, and these are the positions that we ended up on. I know you've been a little bit naughty, but I just wanted to clarify that for you.
No, I was not disputing the process in any way. However, sorry. Okay. Yes, I was not disputing the process in any way. However, I was just wondering if, as the party executive, if you have some insight as to why persons are not necessarily maybe clamoring to be at the top of to be on the executive of this institution, which is 85 years old, and the ruling administration at that.
I actually answered the question, so I think there's another question coming. I feel, Colville, you must have a second question, because I already answered it. You know, there's a new executive. The process was followed. I suspect persons are very satisfied with the persons that came forward. The Labour Party has always performed in public and in private with decency. And we will not call in to question the affairs of the party. You know, we perform with probity in all of our affairs. The process was followed. I think the Labour Party family is satisfied with the persons that came forward. And if you look at the executive, every person there quite deserving. So in some years, there's going to be competition. Some years, both in our party and other parties, no competition. That's just the way it is. And this is one of those years.
Another question from me. Another question from me. In terms of the report card. Normally you say in political terms, the first year to get things started, the second year to follow through, and second term, sorry, to follow through and implement. Could you give us a sneak peek of what the report card is going to be this time around?
You would have heard me mention the political leader, Prime Minister Honorable Mia Amor Motley, that she is addressing the annual conference on Saturday at 4:30. And that question that you just posed will be answered by her as political leader. She would say what the party has done and what the government of the Barbados Labour Party has done. We sitting here at this table, we are in no position to speak ahead of the political leader.
All right. Basically, we know the Prime Minister is one that advocates for a modern government, bringing the government to modernization. As an institution that's 85 years old, could you give us an idea how the BLP has followed that same trend in terms of bringing itself within the modern age and ensuring that it's in keeping with our current trends?
Okay. I'll start by saying 70 years ago, 85 years ago, we did not have all this technology that we have this morning. We were not streaming to persons, letting them know what is happening. So that is a step, one of the things that we improved on as a party, technology. We have given our members last year at our annual conference, and it will continue again this year, where members can have the identification card of the party. We used to have the little cards, and there's some members out there who still have cards, but we're digitizing everything, so we will be using the ID cards. So that is a step in the progress that the Prime Minister is making in terms of reaching the technological age. We also have an office that is fully staffed, and we are answering the needs. People walking off of Roebuck Street, they can come to us and we can offer assistance where necessary or refer them to the appropriate ministry to assist. So that is something that we didn't have before. So it's in keeping with rubbing shoulders, the Paris speak, being there for the people of this country, whether you are B, D, NDP, PEP, we are here for the people.
Okay. Any other questions, colleagues? So, you sure that's it? You sure? Okay, all is left for me to do on behalf of our party is to thank you very much for your cooperation this morning, and I hope that the rest of the day will be equally as productive for you. Have a great day.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.